Hello, my name is London Jones. I'm going into my sophomore year here at Colorado State University. I'm majoring in ecosystem science and sustainability and political science, and for my final technical report, I was interested in investigating the use and ethics of GMOs to feed a growing population amidst our current global climate crisis. So, to begin, it's very important to establish what exactly are GMOs because there's a lot of misinformation surrounding both their use and their effects. In short, GMO stands for genetically modified organisms, and it actually just refers to the practice of altering genes in a way that does not occur naturally. It can be done in any organism, though for our purposes, we're just going to be talking about food. Genetic modifications can be achieved through both crossbreeding plants, or it can be achieved in a lab by isolating or inserting genes into a plant for the most desirable traits. And genetically modifying foods has actually been a common practice that dates back thousands of years, though modern practices of genetic modification was popularized in the 90s, which coincided with industrialized agriculture and the Green Revolution. All right, so why does this matter? The global population is expected to reach 9.7 billion people by the year 2050, and GMOs are an important part of our current agricultural practice, as popular crops like soybeans, corn, canola, and cotton are made up of 90% GM crops here in the US. And it is important of how to effectively feed populations while maintaining a sustainable path forward. It's definitely something I'm interested in with my majors. All right, so in favor of GM crops, many will cite their overall higher yields as a large proponent for their support. And alongside that, numerous scientific studies show that GMOs are perfectly safe for human consumption. So no, they will not alter your genes if you consume GMO foods. And with an increase in crop yield, many proponents of GMO crops will cite land accessibility as a reason for their support. And within the next few decades, the global food supply must not only increase to keep up with growing population, but there will be a decrease in arable land that is available for both farming and ranching. And therefore, those argue in favor of GM use will say that due to their increase in yield, less land will have to be deforested or changed in order to keep up with that global food supply, and that will ultimately be more sustainable. And this graph actually shows that as we've increased yield, we have not increased the land that we've been using. And with all this, why would anyone be opposed to the use of GMs? Though many are still skeptical of their use. And to begin, the global market of both patented GMO seeds and herbicides that would go along with the seeds is dominated by 4 corporations. And these corporations are able to set very high prices on both the patented seeds and the herbicides that are used alongside them. And this leads many small farmers to bear much of the burden of buying those patented seeds and the chemical herbicides, while these large corporations will continue to profit and grow. Additionally, the use of chemical herbicides, which has coincided with the use of GMOs, has negative impacts on both humans and the environment. Glyphosate, a very common chemical herbicide or Roundup, is able to persist in the environment for days or even months and has been linked to adverse health effects, including motor and behavioral issues. Glyphosate has also been linked to decreases in biodiversity due to stripping vital nutrients from soil and killing weeds and insects that are often necessary to ecosystem health. We can see with this, there's been an increase in glyphosate within the past 20 years, and this is a study showing that with increased usage of glyphosate, there's a 21% decrease in biodiversity. So where do we go from here? In looking to the future, it is important to not villainize the use of GMOs, as they have shown to provide stability within the global food market. Though, as we begin to address issues of global food insecurity and distribution, the most sustainable path forward lies within the continued integration of GM seeds, while also making major cutbacks on certain GM crops. Those that require the continual use of harmful chemical herbicides are not sustainable long term. It is important to look at farming practices that promote food security and safety for all involved. That is why I believe in practices such as gene editing, which seeks to nutritionally enrich foods through altering genes. With this, it is important to practice sustainable agriculture through mechanisms of water conservation, integrated pest management, and crop rotation, all of which work with the natural systems in play in order to provide sustainable food for the future. And these are my sources. Thank you so much for listening.